In the film room, we gave ourselves a little round of applause just because it's a first. It's the first time anybody that's ever worn the Creighton uniform is ranked this high in the country. So the guys deserve a little pat on the back. They've played well, and there's been a lot of expectations from the start of the season. Yet, at least up to this point, we've been able to live up and maybe exceed some of those expectations. So obviously, it's more meaningful in 2 months, but it's a nice honor for our program.
Justin getting freshman, so much is made about his offense. You like where his defense is headed, but is there a degree of when it doesn't go well on the defensive side of the floor, how quickly is he able to forget his play?
He can forget him fast. St. John's, the first half was as good a defensive half as he's had all year. I didn't think he played very well against Providence defensively, and a lot of it he's a little bit under the weather. And again, there's a lot of firsts for Justin. Playing that long of a road trip, playing the minutes that he's playing, he's a little bit under the weather. I'm not sure he's played in that highly of a competitive game when he wasn't feeling perfect. So all those are growing moments for him and teaching moments for us. But he's been terrific. He had a wonderful road trip.
With Butler, I guess, how do you generate high percentage looks, easy buckets when they don't make very many mistakes and try to grind out possessions?
Well, they do a great job of stopping you in transition, and that's kind of where it starts with them. And they're gonna defend you, and they don't make a lot of fundamental mistakes defensively. They're very true to what they do, and you have to earn it. And we just have to make sure on the defensive end that we make them earn it as well. Those 8 or 9 mistakes we made against Villanova that really turned the game, even in a game we didn't shoot it well, could have made the difference, and we have to show some growth between Villanova and Butler that we can clean some of those game prep type mistakes up.
Did you survive in terms of get healthy? I know a guy's a little bit under the weather over the weekend. Everybody back to 100%?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, we got a few guys with the sniffles, but I think Maurice feels better. After really fighting the flu for 3 or 4 days, I think Justin feels better today, and I think the bumps and bruises healed up with the day off yesterday. So, as our guys know, this is an important week for us. With a Wednesday, Saturday, Monday, it's going to be a grind, and we have a short prep for Saturday, and then a real short prep for Xavier on Monday. So it's an important week for us, and it's important that without school again tomorrow, that we get plenty of rest before we go back to that normal routine of the academic year.
With this group, how do they stay so grounded? Because there's a lot of love being thrown your way, with rankings and what have you. How do you keep them grounded?
Well, our thought for today was ego is the drug of stupidity. So we explained exactly what that means. I mean, you just have to understand that it's nice to have people pat you on the back and congratulate you, but at the same time, there's a reason that we've been able to get to where we are, and that's because we've stayed pretty focused. We haven't listened to the noise, and when you're struggling, you can't listen to the noise, and that certainly pertains as well when you're having success. You take it for what it's worth. You let it go in one ear and out the other, and then you get back to work. And fortunately for me, this team's been pretty good at doing that.
I mean, when you're in it, I don't know if you can get to this feeling at all, but when you are working during the offseason with these guys, and you believe that they can reach a certain point, and they believe it too, like just to do what you've done so far, to be 15-1. I mean, is that like? Is it tough to grasp? Or are you like, oh, this is...
Well, I like it.
It's a good feeling.
A couple of years ago, we were standing here on the opposite end of the spectrum. So you have to make sure you enjoy it when you have success in our business, because it's not always easy. There's a lot of factors beyond your control sometimes. So when things go well, you have to enjoy it, and you have to make sure your team enjoys it. You can't allow the pressure of the situation to take away from the pure enjoyment of what we're doing and how we're doing it. But I knew this team had potential. Would I have guessed we're 15-1? I don't think there's many coaches around the country that would tell you, yeah, we'll be 15-1 on January 10th. It's hard to come by. But we played good basketball. We played efficient basketball on the offensive end, and we've made some good strides defensively.
Did you think the guys, when they talked, did they believe in what they talked about? They had high goals.
Well, one guy did.
Yeah, one particular. But did they think now I'm sure they believe.
I think our team takes on Maurice's personality, and you take on the personality of your leadership, And I've stated before, he's been really consistent with his practice habits, with his leadership in practice. As we sit here during this interview, his voice is the voice you hear in the background. So you're going to take on that personality that you're not scared of anything, you're not scared of anybody. Let's just stay together, let's work hard, and let's see what happens.
On Wednesday night, I guess, are you going to be able to rebound the same way you did against Providence against them? And was that performance more of a blockout issue, or maybe like Kyrie said, just a couple bad bounces?
It was a combination of both. We missed a few blockouts. Providence is difficult for us because a lot of their offense is run within 8 or 9 feet of the basket, so it really gets muddied up. And our lack of size and physicality then hurts us a little bit more. So, Butler's got some physical players. Widener and Travis are going to go to the glass. Keelan Martin's going to go to the glass. We got to get them off. But as long as we continue to do some other things really, really well, I'd love to be great at everything. If we were great at everything, we'd be the Golden State or the Cleveland Cavaliers. But some of our numbers are off the charts good. Some of them aren't great, and that's certainly one of them, and one that we've continued to pay attention to in practice.
I mean, last year you mentioned, I guess, you brought up Golden State last year with as far as regards to how they were able to balance the offense and the defense. Do you like the balance you have at this point of the year and how you're getting, maybe what you're getting out of all phases of the game?
Well, obviously our offensive numbers are still off the charts, and I don't think we've shot the three-point shot as well as we can shoot it in conference play. But we're still finding a way to be extremely efficient. And defensively, we've progressed. We're a much better defensive team now than we were a month ago. And for us to get where we want to get in the postseason and in the Big East tournament, we're going to have to be better a month from now. So we're still really committed to the fundamental part of our defense early in practice. There was some game slippage that I saw right after Christmas, and we've tried to correct that, and it's been a little bit better in the Big East play.
You went to 1-3-1. You showed it to end the first half against Providence. It was effective. Are you getting more confident using that as a wrinkle?
Well, I think the guys are more confident in it. We've used it enough, and sometimes it's just kind of a desperation move. I don't have any other ideas over there, so let's throw this one out and see if it sticks. But we forced a couple turnovers in it. Our length can be a problem if you haven't seen that before. So I don't think it's something that we can have a steady diet of, but it's a good change up for us, for our team. I like it a little bit better than the 2-3 zone. And so far our guys have executed pretty well.
Looks like in the non-conference that Tyler Creighton was your de facto backup point guard, but you've since given Davion some pretty good minutes in the past 2 games. What have you seen out of him to give him those minutes?
He's continued to work. He's continued to practice extremely hard. He's getting in the gym outside of practice time. And defensively, he's a little bit better than the other guys I've used at the backup point guard. And Tyler's probably a little better offensively. He knows our offense a little bit better. But defense and rebounding and some of the athletic players that you're going to see in the Big East, Davion's been a fit. Now, it's not to say that's going to be the case every game. Sometimes it's a gut feel on how the game's going, how much pressure they're putting on us. St. John's is providing a lot of pressure, and I thought Davion was a better fit. And when he went in, he did a good job, so he got some minutes against Providence as well.
Now in the country, Coach said that you had a little, you guys got to applaud yourselves. How does that make you guys feel as a program?
Oh, it definitely makes us feel good as a program. First time being number 8 in Creighton history, so definitely a good time that we can, be happy with ourselves. But, have to keep going back to work and keep grinding so we can get even higher.
Yeah, how important is that, the ability to stay grounded?
It's definitely hard, with all the success we done had this year. We could really finish the season and be happy with ourselves. But with this team, we want so much more, and it just motivates everybody to keep working harder and harder every day.
What did you guys learn about yourself on that last road trip?
That we can stick together as a team and grind games out. Talking to our athletic director, Coach Rasman, he's saying those are the hardest games to win in college basketball, which they really are. So going in there, playing together as a team is the way to win.
You guys led wire to wire in both of those games. That's a pretty rare thing to do, especially in the Big East, I guess. How do you jump out front like that? And is it humility that keeps you grinding even when you're up?
Honestly, yeah. With all the teams we done played this year, it's like we've been there before. So we just always come together collectively and say, we know when it's time to play and get the game back going on our side.
What is it, though? Because you jumped out the huge lead at St. John's. You got, 8?
Right.
So isn't there a little so what do you guys do to stop that?
It's like Coach saying, we got to do our job for 40 minutes. That's what's stopping us from being a great team right now. We do our job for a select few times of the game, but we have to learn how to do it for 40 minutes. So when we do that for 40 minutes, we're going to be a great team.
So what would you define yourself as if you're not a great team now? You're 8th in the country, my man.
Really, really good one right now. But, we got so much places we can get better at. We just got to keep on staying focused, and I feel we'll be one of the best teams in the country at the end of the season.
How hard does Butler make things for you on the offensive end of the floor? And I guess, how are you guys going to be able to generate high percentage looks with a team that defends as well as they do?
It's kind of like Villanova. We're going to have to be able to play a little bit of their style of play, which is staying disciplined and taking great shots, because they're not going to get out of character. So we're definitely going to stay within ourselves, and, it's going to be a good, solid game.
Expecting a pretty rowdy crowd there for $1 beverage.
Yeah, I did hear about that. Yeah, I definitely expect the crowd. We always got great crowds anyway, so I definitely expect a great crowd on Wednesday.
Did you see Butler and Villanova? Have you seen that game yet?
I caught the second half of it, yeah. I like how Butler played that. They played disciplined and kept playing their game. Even when Villanova made their runs, they stuck with it, and that's how they were able to win the game.
Is that easier, though, as a player to say, hey, these guys knocked off number one. We know how good, rather than if they come in and gotten beaten by it. It's got to grab your attention, doesn't it?
Oh, definitely grab our attention. Butler's one of the teams that always grabs our attention because they play so disciplined, and they really want you to play their game, but we're going to have to figure out a way to beat them.
Guys, being ranked 8th, that's got to be a nice little thing for a guy who's been around the block.
Man, it's a great feeling, It definitely shows that all the work we put in is paying off. It hasn't been easy, let me tell you that. There's been days where you just call your parents like, I don't know if I can continue to do this. I'm exhausted. There's just those doubts in your head, and we've all been there together, and we've fought them together, and I think that's why we're as strong as ever right now, is because we have each other's backs as much as we do. Being ranked 8th in the nation is, it's nothing this school has seen before, and it's definitely an honor for us for sure.
But Marcus says that you guys still aren't close to being peaking.
Yeah, we're definitely not satisfied. We're definitely trying to crack that top 5 for sure. But the conference play is going to be tough. St. John's beat Butler beat Nova. There's a lot of sleeper teams in the Big East, and we got to come to play every night. It'll be a great conference play, and the Big East should be proud of what we've built for sure.
At the same time with that ranking, if you guys probably had Duke on your jerseys at 15-1, you might be number 1 in the country. You guys have had to earn number 8.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. But no one's ever heard of us. We were in the Missouri Valley a long time ago. We're finally starting the Big East, and not a lot of people, give the Big East credit for what we have. And a lot of people were upset that the Big East split up, and they weren't happy to see Creighton in there. And the Butlers, they weren't happy at all. They're going to make us earn whatever we can, and and it was nice to see that we didn't fall when we lost to Nova. They definitely gave us a little love on that one. But we got to continue to come out and prove that we are one of the top 10 teams in the nation.
But is it a constant chip on your shoulder at that point with all the things you just mentioned there, as far as what you guys have to battle against night in, night out, just from the outsider's perspective?
Definitely a chip, but I would say it's more. I would say it's more humbling in my perspective. I guess it's. I've come from a team that's gone. I don't even remember what we went my true freshman year, like 15 and something, and then last year wasn't great, and finally this year we've stepped up, and we really can't take what we have for granted, and that's more or less what I'm looking at it, the way I'm looking at it. If that answers your question or not.
No, you're good.
Given what the team had done the last 2 years, when you guys kind of came together during the preseason. And I'm sure you heard, your teammates are talking about competing for a Big East title, and Mo throughout this, making a run in March. Did that seem like that?
Realistic?
Is that like something that you really thought, hey, yeah, this is something that we could have accomplished?
Throughout the
and
summer,
I know you're not there
yet. But I know what you mean. Throughout the summer, we started out, is it going to be possible? The more and more we kept working out, it might be possible, and we kept building. We kept our word, and we kept working, and I would say, 6 months ago we don't know where we would be, and a lot of people doubted us and where we were going to be, and we've definitely come out and thrown a good first punch, second punch, and Now we got to finish it with the conference play. You know, I mean, our ultimate goal is a Big East championship. You know, trying to go to the Big East tournament, get a championship, and making a deep run in the tournament has definitely been our goal since day one. You know, and having leaders like Marcus and Wap and our senior leaders of Cole and Zach and Z, you know, I mean, we're truly blessed to have such an upper-class oriented team that we have someone to look at. You know, Davion can look at Wap for mistakes. Kobe can look at Z and what he's doing, you know, and Martine's still looking at Zach and looking at Justin and I myself. You know, it's nice to have the seniority on the team. That's definitely helped us along our path for sure.
How do you believe you guys can do something that has never been done? Like, how do you envision it? How do you make it happen on a daily basis?
You know, we try not to think about it. At least me personally, and I know for the team for sure. We got a hard game. I think the number 12 team in the nation is coming in. You know, it's not going to be easy. And, you know, we got to take it game by game. We can't think about March. We can't think about the Big East tournament. Can't think about records. It's a matter of competing every night.
I guess Wednesday night, what is it going to take